Good morning, I'm Paolo del Rosario and welcome to Weather HQ. Today's headlines. Pag-asa is monitoring 3 tropical cyclones, 2 inside the Philippine Area of Responsibility, Nika and Ofel, and another outside the PAR. Cauayan City in Isabela suffers from power outage following the onslaught of Nika, while a number of classes remain suspended in parts of Luzon due to bad weather. These include parts of Isabela, Pampanga, and Tarlac. Currently, we are monitoring 3 tropical cyclones that are inside and outside of the Philippine Area of Responsibility as we bring you the local weather here today. Now, first is a severe tropical storm Nika that is in the West Philippine Sea. We'll take a look at that here. And of course, next, of course, is a tropical storm Ofel that just entered the PAR at 3 a.m. this morning. So here is Ofel. As you can see here, the PAR just entered at 3 a.m. this morning, following the wake of severe tropical storm Nika. Lastly, outside the PAR is a tropical storm called Manny. As we take a look way over here, actually just beyond Guam, right over there as well. Currently, severe tropical storm Nika is weakening as it moves towards northwestward over the West Philippine Sea. Let's take a look at that here. As you can see, already weakening over at this area. In terms of its track, the STS Nika is forecasted to move in a west-northwestward direction over the West Philippine Sea and forecasted to exit Philippine Area of Responsibility in the coming hours. As you can see over here, already at the border practically, as it is now tracking its way towards this area here. Now, if you can see the satellite image, Nika's radius still covers some parts of the country. We'll bring that up in just a bit. But then the satellite imagery shows that Nika is still around here with regards to its coverage as seen by satellite. And because of that, we are still experiencing some inclement weather. So due to the severe tropical storm Nika, Pag-asa still raised signal number 1 in Ilocos Norte, the northern portion of Ilocos Sur, the northern portion of Apayao, and the northern and western portions of Abra. The western portions of Babuyan Island, the northwestern portion of mainland Cagayan, and those who are under signal number 1 will experience winds of up to 61 kph and intermittent rains as well. Local winds may be slightly stronger or enhanced in coastal and mountainous areas, with minimal to minor impacts from strong winds that are possible within any of the areas under wind signal number 1. Now, in terms of rainfall, the rain bands of the severe tropical storm Nika will bring heavy to moderate rains around here, the Ilocos Norte region, as well as Cagayan, Babuyan Islands, and Batanes up here. As you can see the rainfall forecast with the different colors showing the different intensities of the rain. You can see here still affecting the northernmost parts of the country. Now, residents in these areas are still advised to take precautionary measures because flooding and landslides are all still possible. Now, what about the sea? Well, for the sea conditions, gale warning is up in the coastal waters of Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur. Just a small area here compared to what we've seen in the past few days, with Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur bearing the brunt of that. Now, these areas will experience rough to very rough sea conditions, so sea travel is still considered as risky. So if you can, please do not venture out to the sea until it is safe. Now, we mentioned 3 storms or 3 weather disturbances. Now we're going to focus on Ofel. Let me move over to the side here so you can see the numbers here on this side. Now, as of 5 a.m. today, Ofel was spotted 1,170 kilometers east of southeastern Luzon. Now, it has maximum sustained winds of 75 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 90 kilometers per hour. Now, it is moving in a west-northwestward direction at a speed of 25 kilometers per hour. It is forecasted to move west-northwestward around this track until Thursday evening. So if there are no changes in terms of its movement, it's forecasted to make landfall over the northern or central portions of Luzon. That'll be either on Thursday afternoon or evening. So do watch out for that. Make sure you stay updated with regards to the local news, especially with Tropical Storm Ofel. Starting tomorrow, residents of Catanduanes will start to experience strong winds brought by Tropical Storm Ofel. On Thursday, Batanes, Quezon, including the Polillo Islands, Camarines Norte, northern portions of Camarines Sur, and Catanduanes will all experience the presence of the Tropical Storm Ofel. On Friday, residents of Isabela and the northern portions of Aurora will experience strong winds. Now, according to Pag-asa, wind signal number 1 may be raised over the Cagayan Valley this evening or tomorrow morning. And the highest wind signal that could be hoisted in occurrence of Ofel is wind signal number 4. So do watch out for that, especially if you're in this area in northern Luzon and to a degree central Luzon as well. In terms of rainfall, heavy to intense rains are expected in Cagayan. That includes the Babuyan Islands and Isabela, while moderate to heavy are expected to prevail in Apayao and Kalinga. Even if Nika is out of the Philippine landmass, these areas should prepare again for Tropical Storm Ofel. Now, as we noted a while ago, Nika is already at the edge of the Philippine area of responsibility, but its sheer size still affecting Luzon. Of course, with Ofel coming in and affecting probably the same areas as we're seeing its current track here so far, all those affected areas that were affected by the previous storm should get ready and prepare for Tropical Storm Ofel. Please do take care because lands of these areas are overly saturated because of the continuous rains brought about by the past tropical cyclones. Let's go to the third tropical storm we're watching. This is way outside the Philippine area of responsibility, so I'm going to move all the way here. Tropical Storm Manny was last located 2,870 kilometers east of southeastern Luzon. Maximum sustained winds of up to 85 kilometers per hour with gustiness of up to 105 kilometers per hour. Now, it is moving in a westward direction at around 10 kilometers per hour. According to Pag-asa, Tropical Storm Manny still has no direct effect on our country, but we will continue monitoring the movement and development of this tropical storm in the coming days. As you can see here, not even at Guam yet at the moment, talking about Manny. But it could enter following its track, the Philippine have responsibility in the next coming days and weeks. As you can see here, this is one of the probable routes of Manny in the next coming days. Well, coming up, we'll have the latest situation in Isabela, now suffering from power outage in the aftermath of severe tropical storm Nika. Don't go away. You're watching Weather HQ. Welcome back. You're still watching Weather HQ. I'm Paolo del Rosario. To know more about what to expect about Typhoon Nika and Tropical Storm Ofel, we have with us on the phone Weather Specialist Loredin De La Cruz. Magandang umaga, Loredin.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. All right, so let's begin with Nika first. Ayon sa latest track po ninyo, Nika's forecasted to exit par in the next coming hours. Is the movement of Nika, is it affected rather by the presence of itong Ofel?
Hindi naman po siya affected or kumbaga influence the movement ni Ofel. Separate naman sila and independent sila of each other. Pero ito si Nika medyo kasi bumagal siya ng bahagya nag-northward kaya medyo tumagal yung kanyang exit ng par. But we're expecting that within today ay lalabas na rin po siya ng ating area of responsibility.
So Loredin, just to be clear, wala pong interaction between Nika and Ofel?
Yes po.
Alright, so let's go to Ofel. What should we expect in terms of yung strength po nito?
Pwede po itong maging typhoon upon reaching the landmass or before reaching the landmass. So we're seeing na either landfall ito or close approach.
Well, it's forecasted to make landfall over northern or central Luzon. Are there any particular areas you're seeing that could possibly be adversely affected as of the moment?
Halos same lang din po nung mga areas na naapektuhan ng Nika, which is basically northern Luzon, the whole of northern Luzon, some parts of central Luzon such as Aurora, Nueva Ecija.
Alright, so aside from yung mga landfall areas, since it is forecasted to become a typhoon, what are the possible areas that will be affected by the Tropical Storm Ofel?
Possible areas, possible po tayo mag-raise ng signals in the coming days sa buong northern Luzon halos, and then yung Aurora and the Nueva Ecija din as well.
So we're also tracking a tropical storm outside the Philippine area of responsibility. Ngayon, medyo malayo pa ata, I believe even beyond Guam. But what should we expect with regards to this? Will it actually interact with Ofel, or would it still be almost the same situation as what we've seen with Nika?
Medyo malayo pa po ito. So, upon entering ng PAR, baka po si Ofel ay palabas na rin po. So, hindi din po tayo nag-expect ng interaction between the two of them. And then, most likely westward movement itong yung paparating. na kapag pumasok ng Paras Bagyo ay papangalanan na rin si Pepito. So most likely baka ay hindi man, most likely ay nasa between Southern Luzon or Central Luzon yung kanyang track. Pero ayun, may uncertainty po ito dahil malayo pa. So might as well mag-monitor na lang din po sa mga issues ng pag-asa ukol dito in the next few days.
Is it too early to assume kung gaano ka-intense yung storm na to?
Sa projections, possible na humina po siya ng bahagya before nearing the landmass.
Alright, perfect. Maraming salamat. That is Pag-asa Weather Specialist Loredin De La Cruz. Now let's get the latest from the province of Isabela hit by power outage due to severe tropical storm Nika. Our Hannah T is there. Hannah, how are the residents and you coping there right now?
Paolo, until now, some hotels are full here in some areas in Cauayan City, and some residents also line up in several convenience stores to charge their devices. And we've also seen some residents in their neighborhoods who are starting to clean up. That is after the impact of severe tropical storm Nika here in Isabela. It's gotten a bit overcast now, no? But a while ago, the sun showed itself. The Cagayan River is currently at 47 meters above sea level, rising nearly 10 meters since yesterday. This means even trucks can't get through this area. Behind me, you can see the flooding that has completely submerged the Alicaucao Bridge. Yesterday, the bridge was still passable, but now it's completely underwater. This bridge connects several barangays in Cauayan City, but with the bridge completely submerged, travel time from Gagabutan to Villaluna can jump from just 5 to 10 minutes to about 30 minutes to 1 hour. That is if we use any boat. As of 8 a.m., according to the LGU, Cauayan City still has no power except for some parts in Cabaruan, which still have electricity. The power provider, Isabela One Electric Cooperative, or Iselco, said that their linemen have been working overnight to inspect downed power lines and begin restoration in affected areas. They assured residents that a full-scale inspection and restoration effort will begin as soon as conditions are safe. Paolo.
Hannah, you mentioned that the flooding there was a bit above head level. I believe that was looking on the other side of the bridge. May balita ka ba doon?
Yes, Paolo. Actually, if you cross it by boat, the passable daw. Pero according to the barangay, no, may warning sila dahil the waves are still happening in the flood water, and in Villaluna, houses are submerged. Meron tayong mga nakausap sa social media na mga residente na stranded doon sa kabilang barangay at hindi pa ma-rescue dahil nga wala pang bangka. Paolo.
Hannah, you mentioned submerged houses. Do we have any status updates with regards to yung numbers of evacuees and of course yung status po nila?
Paolo, according to the Cauayan City LGU, umakyat na sa halos 3,000 individuals yung mga kinailangang i-evacuate. Yan yung mga galing sa low-lying areas and of course sa mga binaha at matinding naapektuhan ni severe tropical storm Nika. Yan ay umakyat, no, from our last conversation with the LGU na nasa around 2,800 lang kanina. And at the moment, meron pa ring ibang mga barangay na hindi pa napupuntahan ng LGU.
Do we have any reports with regards to yung cost of damages so far with regards to infrastructure and more?
Paolo, according to the Cauayan City LGU, it's still early to tell, no, it's early to report the initial damages dahil marami pa ring barangays yung lubog sa baha, and yet ongoing naman yung clearing operation and rescue efforts ng LGU.
And
Back to you, Paolo.
And of course, lastly, before we let you go, we were talking about a while ago about how there is actually another storm that could possibly hit that area sa Isabela. Are residents still staying within the evacuation centers, or have there been residents already returning to their own homes?
Paolo, according to the local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, wala pang bumabalik mula sa evacuation center pabalik doon sa kanilang households dahil nga una, lubog pa rin sa baha yung mga bahay, and of course, yung iba naman na hindi napunta sa mga community center, pumunta sa ibang relatives daw nila na nandito rin sa Cauayan City pero hindi gaanong binaha. And of course, according to the LGU, handa naman sila sa mga susunod pang paparating na bagyo dahil nga pang ilan na tong si bagyong Nika na sumalanta dito sa Isabela at maaga yung naging preparations nila. In fact, kahapon may ilang evacuation centers naman na hindi naman pinuntahan ng mga residente.
Maraming salamat. That was Hannah T reporting live from Isabela. Stay safe out there. Now don't go away because global weather is up next. Keep it here. You're watching BNC. Let's take a look at the global weather. This is Weather HQ. Countries at the COP29 climate summit in Baku, Azerbaijan gave the go signal to carbon credit quality standards, critical to launching a UN-backed global carbon market that will fund projects that reduce greenhouse gas emissions. It's an early deal on the opening day of the two-week UN conference. The deal on Article 6.4 of the Paris Agreement could allow a UN-backed global carbon market to start up as soon as next year. Carbon credits allow countries or companies to pay for projects that reduce carbon dioxide emissions or remove it from the atmosphere and use credits generated by those projects to offset their own emissions. And that's Weather HQ for today. Join us again tomorrow, whatever the weather, here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Have a great morning.